Hello, makers. Today I'm back with another Frankenstein's monster card, and today's card is made with stamps from the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous Halloween Curation. And this stamp set, Classics number 6, SCF006, with all these awesome borders, was part of the curations. And I had actually never seen this stamp set that I remember seeing anyway, but I really just love the variety of borders on here. And as I was looking at them and just kind of thinking through, a couple of different ideas came to mind, and one of them was to make a Frankenstein's monster out of the borders. So that's the card that I'm going to share with you today. So this is a big card. So this is an 8.5 by 11 piece that I scored right down the middle at 5.5 and folded it. And then I cut a piece of mixed media heavy stock in half, and I'm going to do half of it as the green skin for Frankenstein's monster, and then save the other half because we're going to be stamping the borders on it to use for the different parts of his face. So that's my plan, and so I'm inviting you to come along and let's get making. We're going to begin with coloring the mixed media heavy stock, but as I started to do that, I realized that my green s- ink pad was too dry and I couldn't do the smush technique. So this is how you replenish one of your stamp pads if it gets too dry, and you do have to replenish them. You can't just use like a the stamp refresher. You actually have to add more ink from a re-inker. And so I have put ink from the re-inker onto the pad, and then I have this kind of, you could use a credit card or anything like that. I got this one from Ranger, and you're just pressing the ink down into the pad. And once it's all kind of gotten pressed in and soaked in, then you are good to go and you can start stamping. So that's all there is to it. Once you have that ink all pressed down in there, you can put the lid on, wipe up whatever uh, tool that you used to press the ink into it, and you're good to go. All right, so you want to press some ink, the colors that you want to use, onto a nonstick surface. The glass is not the best for this technique. If you use a nonstick pad, like the one that usually comes in the corner of the mixed media sheets, you'll see that the ink will bead up, like you can see when you add just a little, and then you want to tap the paper into it. You don't want to push it down onto it. You want to tap, and then that allows, see those ink droplets that I'm pointing to there, and then you can actually spread them out a little more by adding a little water if you want, or you can dry them. I like to have some ink droplets and then somewhere it's a little more smooth. Then I'm going to tap that paper in again and just pick up a few more of those ink droplets and dry that again. You want to dry a little bit in between. But if you're using just the glass, it's only going to make those smooth areas. And so that's why you want to have, if you can, a nonstick mat for this technique, because it will give you those droplets and those differentiating areas with the well, those areas with the color differentiation. That's what I want to say. So I just continued doing this with peeled paint and shabby shutters are the two greens that I am using. And so I just continued to do that until I got the saturation that I wanted. And so this technique is really all about layers. You're not going to get everything in the first go around. And if you're using several really different colors, you definitely want to use a pad like this, because otherwise what will happen is that they will run together on the glass, and then you're going to get a lot of brown and mud looking. So you can see I'm really just tapping the paper in. I'm not smushing it down with my hand. And so this is what it looked like after several layers. And so I really love it. I think it looks kind of splotchy, like I think that Frankenstein's monster's skin would look like that. Now, this is that second piece of mixed media heavy stock that I had, and I'm going to start stamping the borders. I am stamping them in black soot archival ink. So I want one of the pinked, that's the best description I have for that one. One of the pinked, and then I'm going to do one of the scallop. That will get me four, and I need four of the scalloped. So that'll be good. And I know I have enough of the pink to go across because this is a half a sheet of mixed media heavy stock. So I know if it makes it all the way across that I will have enough for Frankenstein's hair. And then I did one of that rectangle, and I didn't use the staple kind of uh, stamp yet. I'm going to use that later on. I end up using all four stamps on this. Now I fussy cut out the pink for the hair, and this one I just cut a little rectangle, and I cut off the excess on each side, and then I'm going to cut it into kind of, I don't know what that's called. It's not really a triangle. Like, is that a trapezoid or anyway, a nose shape. We'll go with that. Then I am going to cut out the scallops, and I need all four. So these are going to be the eyes. And so you can see that I've layered them. And now I need a mouth. And later on, out of this same piece, I'm going to cut some eyebrows. And I didn't think of it at the time, but right now I'm just cutting a thin piece for the mouth. So that's going to go across there. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how big I want that mouth. And now I'm going to start coloring these and getting them ready to put in the position that I want them on Frank's face. So I'm just using my blending tool and coloring in the hair. So that was pretty easy. You could do this actually before you cut it if you want. I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing, so I did it afterwards. So you can see either way it would work fine. Now for the eyes, I'm doing the nose and the top of the eyes, like what would be his eyelids. I'm doing those a darker green. So those are peeled paint, and I'm doing those a nice green and then kind of edging um, them in the black soot. And then these I want to be, I used antique linen, so they're a little bit yellow for the inside of the eyes. And again, edging those with some black soot. So now you can see the eyes are starting to take shape, but I realized I needed some pupils. So I reached for one of the mixed media stamp sets. This one's called Eekaboo, and it has these circles as part of the stencil. And so I just used one of the circles and a tiny blending tool and made those pupils. And then now I'm trimming down the upper lids or the upper scallops to make the eyelids. And I made one longer than the other because I thought that would kind of make him look a little goofy. And so I thought that would be a fun way to kind of add some character to him. And then you can see that I am just, once I glue the eyelid on, I'm trimming any of the bottom scallop that is sticking up over the top, those little corners. I'm just trimming those off so the eyes are kind of oval. And now I realize I need some eyebrows. So I colored in a little piece and then I trimmed it so that I could make sure that was how long I wanted those eyebrows to be. And there we go. So got those in place, and everything is glued down now on his face. And I want to add a few stitches. And so I reached for that fourth stamp that is part of this stamp set, and I am only inking up little sections of it. I'm laying the whole thing in place, but I'm just inking up little sections to go where I want it to go on his face. And I'm stamping directly onto that background. And because it's Frankenstein, doesn't have to be perfect, so I wasn't really too worried about, messing this up. And now, before I put it on my card base that I cut and scored earlier, I'm going around the edges with some black soot to just kind of soften those edges as they go into the black um, background. And I did trim down the whole green portion, but I left the hair so it went all the way across. It was a little bigger than the face. And then I sewed around the whole thing with my messy stitching. I sewed across the mouth, around the nose, I sewed around the eyes, across the eyelids, and across the eyebrows too. So there we have how I used all four. I used the hair, then I used that long rectangular piece for the eyebrows, the nose, and the mouth. I used that kind of stapled stitching directly on the face, and then those scallops for the eyes. Well, I think he turned out really cute, and I had so much fun making this card. One thing that I didn't talk about was that I did add a sentiment, peculiar detached fragments. That's from the Tiny Text stamp set, also from Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And I hope that you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making this card. It was so much fun. As always, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. If you'd like to see some still shots of this, those will be on my blog. All of the products will be linked on my blog, and they are linked in the description for today's video. And, I always appreciate you watching and all of your wonderful comments. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart, and have a very creative day.